They already tied to GH.
Thank you. Next we have
Yes, I'm ready.
long or short?
Short.
Good answer.
Short.
Well, I try to put it now or I mean, 10.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, no, I only need a couple of minutes, as far as I'm concerned, but I do have a team here that's prepared to answer questions if the board has any, but I represent V.D. Valentine and Bill Hutchinson, who own what is known as the Cottrell Farm. That's a 32-acre plus piece of property. It actually spans 3 zoning districts. There's a little tiny 1/2 acre piece that's in tax assessment plat 10 that is zoned R80. There is the bulk of the farm is in the R40 district, and there are 2 little tabs that come out to Hamilton Avenue that are R20. This project or application is for dimensional variances relating to frontage on roads. There is a schedule attached to my application which lists the specific variances that are sought. It comes to you with a recommendation from the Planning Commission. They unanimously voted to approve the subdivision application at the public hearing stage, minor subdivision. And I'd like to just briefly describe the farm a little bit to you so that you'll be able to put it into context and know why we're here. What is the hardship? There's 32 acres. However, there is a total of 112.5 feet of frontage. So that creates the dilemma. If you had a 32-acre parcel, some people have had in the past in Jamestown and wanted to develop it. You could, under the Planning Commission regulations and the zoning ordinance, create an array of roads and subdivide the parcel into a considerable number of lots. In fact, when my clients purchased this property, it was 6 lots. However, they brought to the attention of the planning department that those lots lacked frontage, and the tax assessor correctly merged the 6 lots into 2 lots. Now what they want to do is create a 3-lot subdivision. That's what they went to the Planning Commission to do. 1 lot is 17 acres, 1 lot is 13 acres, and 1 lot is 2.5 acres. They're all in excess of the R40 district requirements by a considerable degree. This is probably the most benevolent subdivision plan that's been proposed in Jamestown in a long time. One of the lots is going to be used as a home. A new house will be created for my clients to live in. They have 2 children. They live currently in Jamestown. Mr. Hutchinson's family has been coming here since the 1840s, I believe. The farmhouse has been, it's an 18th century farmhouse. It was constructed by a person who fought the Battle of Ticonderoga. A Newporter came over to Jamestown, built himself a farmhouse. He had 13 children, and one of his descendants still lives here. And I think he'd be amazed to see how the farmhouse has been restored. It's beautiful. A farm family will live in it. That lot is 13 acres. And the 3rd lot is a 2.5 acre lot. It's in the R40 district. And that lot may or may not ever be developed. It may become a conservation property. There are several discussions underway with respect to the future of that lot. But that lot will be served by a driveway, a deeded right-of-way that goes out to Highland Drive. And we've had discussions with the property owner over whose land that right-of-way passes. When he acquired the land, it was subject to this deeded right-of-way. We've made an agreement with him as to the farm lane type driveway that would be constructed on it. And that access is assured to my client. What we want to do, as opposed to the types of roads that you would see in, let's say, a West Reach type subdivision, is we want a farmland approach as depicted in that picture. That's Exhibit 1. That picture, I'd ask that you should pass it around. That picture shows a farmland that exists at the top of Howland Avenue on Hamilton, and has been in existence for at least 100 years. The Cottrell Farm started out as a large property that went all the way from the East Passage at Queens Pier to the West Passage at Mackerel Cove. And in the late 1800s and the early part of the 20th century, many of the lots were sold off. It ended up being this 32-acre parcel, and it was that well prior to its purchase in the 1950s by the Gregg family. Some of you may have known the Gregg family, Tom Gregg, his father Pickett Gregg and Martha Gregg. And when they purchased the property in the 1950s, it was already down to 32 acres. When Hamilton Avenue was built through, as I think by the military to connect, so that the military officers and civilians working in bases at Fort Wetherill and Fort Getty, Hamilton Avenue was constructed at least 100 years ago. This farm has not had the frontage, so it's not a hardship that was created by my client or any recent predecessor. It's just a farm that's landlocked. The choice is, as presented to the Planning Commission, that there be big roads or farmlands. We want the farmlands. We want to preserve the 18th century ambience, the rural character of the farm. My client is about to testify, and he will establish that he is willing to have those farmlands that will be gravel meet the requirements of the Jamestown Fire Department. Each property will either have a hammerhead or an actual turnaround so that there'll be no backing out of emergency equipment. And I suggest that you may want to make a condition, just as the Planning Commission did, that these roads, these driveways meet the requirements of the Jamestown Fire Department. He'll also establish, meeting the requirements of Section 606, that it's not a hardship that he created, and it's due to the characteristics of the subject parcel. That the relief he's seeking is the least relief necessary. He's trying to make the roads consistent with what has existed for a long time and proved adequate for many, many years. And that if you did not grant this application, the hardship would be more than a mere convenience that would impose upon him the creation of the very type of subdivision he wants to avoid. The farm is a legally permitted use. There are farm animals up there now. If you haven't seen it prior to hearing this matter tonight, you might want to go in there sometime just to see what's being done up there. It's really quite a thing to see. And this use is probably the premier use favored by the comprehensive plan. Preserving Jamestown's rural character is what this application is all about. So I did put some things in your package that gave the history. I just don't want to be engaging overkill here tonight. Bill, would you come forward?
Raise your right hand, please. On this testimony about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. State your name, please.
William Hutchinson.
Thank you.